So I'm going to answer it, I guess, with my answer, but the only way I know how to answer, and I think it's all of our responsibility. I just do, and I guess it goes back to me being a public school principal. It is my responsibility to help our upcoming kids, our next, generation that's going to help us carry through into the future. It is not only, it's our responsibility, to help with the mental health of our children. And so I guess I feel so strongly about that and so passionately about that and believe, because of what has happened to me, but what I've also seen good happen to others, that it would be the responsibility of the church. What else is there? What else is there if we're not tending to the mental health of our congregation? I mean, I just think that it's time to be better for our community, and this is by far the way to go. And I think that there's ways to do it where it is called prayer. There's ways to do it that meditation is equal to religion. And I think that there's ways to do it where you can also do meditation separate from your religion. And I think that I would be an example of a person who does that. But I would say it is the responsibility of our community. And our leaders are in churches. You look up to your youth pastor, you look up to your preacher, your pastor, we had mentors who, even when I went to college, would write me letters in college. Billy was my man and wife. They were both named Billy. How interesting is that?
All right.
He was my mentor, and I'll never forget that. We are mentors. No matter where we are leaders. And to just say that because we're church-going people, we're mentally healthy people, is not true. So I would expect that everybody's taking responsibility for one another and supporting one another's needs. And I think that the church would be just the same as me as a school principal and working to help.
So the question I have written is really more about the church, but because we're in the education space, let me flip it just a little bit. So of course, in trying to figure out what I was going to write about for my dissertation, I kind of leaned on trauma-informed, and because I'm in music education, trauma-informed music education, right? So I felt this pull in that direction, obviously because of the work that I'm doing now, right? So do you think that there should be more emphasis, I guess, in terms of trauma-informed educational practices? Like, typically I've been asking folks about, should there be a ministry in the church, right? And I think based on your previous answer, the question would be yes. And I feel like the answer to this one is yes. But what should the schools be doing in order to better care for the mental health of these kids? Listen, the statistic that said that 50% of mental health issues are established by the age of 14 shook me. I was like, wait, those are the kids in front of me now.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a crazy statistic. Yeah. Well, I would say that's, yes, we need to do better. I think that we do like one training a year, maybe for an hour, it's a PD. And meanwhile, you and I are lucky to work in a K-6, but, we're not ignorant to the fact that there's suicide happening in our community and in kids all across the world or all across the country. And so I guess I'm the type of public school teacher who believes that it's our responsibility to teach beyond academics. I really do. And we have at our school, we pledge to teach leadership. That's one of our things that we pledge to do. And I believe in all of that. I believe we're to teach right from wrong. I believe we're there to teach about being better people, and about being better citizens. I believe in all of that. And so we're up against a lot of hard things. I'm sure that the church is up against similar tough things, especially financially. I'm sure that churches are struggling financially, and that plays a part into why those types of services aren't so accessible, right? I think that they say that there's really, you're supposed to have one counselor for every 125 kids or something like that. And we know that we've got over 800 kids, and a principal and a counselor, and that's what we've got. And so the responsibility kind of goes back onto the teacher. So absolutely. I also, I know I've worked in areas that the majority of students suffered some form of trauma. I taught in an area in the suburbs here of Arizona, where a lot of our students were children of illegal immigrants, and they would tell me their stories of crossing the border, when they were little, and now they would just. This was ages ago now, but just hearing these stories and thinking of then the cushy childhood I had, it just. So I think too, we work in a demographic that is a little bit different, but you think about even the kids that go to our school, they're still struggling. We have kids in foster care and so on. But if you think about all the kids in the community and you think kind of bigger and more broadly, yes, we're doing a disservice if we're not recognizing their trauma. And then labeling happens, and we label a kid as, acting out, when they really just don't know how to deal with the things of their past. I absolutely do believe that we need to do a better job. And we were lucky enough in our district to work with a particular teacher who, unfortunately, his son died from suicide, but he then created a bill in Arizona requiring the suicide awareness, mental health awareness to be taught in all the high schools in Arizona. So out of that came a very good legislative act. But that's just such a start, we're like on just
dropping the bucket.
We're just doing we're doing stuff, but yes, we need to do more. We definitely need to do more.
Yeah, it's as I'm reading and stuff for my dissertation, it just kind of opens my eyes, and I'm like, man, we as educators have so much on us to present, and we're so unprepared for the work in front of us. And I think, I just hope that, people like you, people like me who really care deeply about this can motivate other people to make those changes. Because coming out of this pandemic, boy, these kids are gonna need it. They're just gonna need additional support. But
absolutely.
Allison, the controversial nature. All right, finally, I want to personally invite you to the Controversy Project Facebook group, A Safe Place. It is a free and exclusive community where trauma survivors and trauma supporters have gathered together to share testimonies, to share resources, and to share support and love for each other, as all of us are endeavoring to learn to live TS strong. This is just another one of the many multimedia platforms that we have chosen to use in order to fulfill this very, very important mission. And I want to invite you to be a part of it, and obviously welcome you to it in advance. Listen, in closing, until next time, I want to remind each and every one of you how important it is for you to confront your pain, how important it is for you to live your purpose, and how important it is for you to invest in your project. Till next time, peace.